When we have clients come to our office who have been injured in a boating accident or some other type of water recreation activity accident, one of the things they want to know is what the value of their claim is. And the reason that that is what they're interested in is because at that point they're often in severe pain. Their life has been turned upside down because they may not be able to work. They may not be able to take care of themselves the way they want to, or take care of their children the way that they want to. They may not be able to do the activities they want, and they're frustrated. They're mad. They want to know, how is this going to be made right? And that is the whole purpose of personal injury law or negligence law, and that is how the law allows us to hold people responsible for their own careless acts. Unfortunately, at the beginning of a case, you can't determine the value of those cases, because the first thing you have to do to understand the value is understand what the extent of the injuries are. If you have an injury that's going to heal, that's not as valuable an injury as an injury that is permanent. So the first thing we have to do is get you through medical treatment to know, okay, are you going to heal fully, or are you going to be in a situation where this injury is going to impact you for the rest of your life? From there, you have to look at the things that Georgia allows a person who's been injured by the negligence of another to recover. And there are two categories essentially. The first one is what's called special damages, and they're pretty easy to prove. They're the value of medical expenses and lost wages. And it's pretty easy to get a doctor to tell you how much you owe them for the treatment, and an employer can generally verify that you've been out of work for a period of time and you haven't been paid, and how much you should have been paid. But the other category, called non-economic damages, is much more difficult to assign, because it's not the type of thing you can get a receipt for, and it's not the type of thing you can go buy a replacement for on Amazon. It is the type of thing like pain and suffering damages, or loss of enjoyment of life, or disruption of life, that you are entitled to be compensated for. So an example would be, if you have a broken leg and you're laid up on your couch for 6 months, someone can't just by their carelessness take that 6 months away from you living your life the way you want to and not be responsible for it. There is a value to that. Now, what that value is can often be hard to determine, and it's frequently argued over. Oftentimes that is why we end up in front of juries to determine what that value is, and the ultimate decider is the jury and what they think the value of that claim is. In going through those various things and applying those topics or those categories, another thing you have to take into consideration is what the available insurance to compensate someone for an injury is out there. You have generally a certain amount of insurance coverage, and that's going to cap what you are allowed to recover from the person that causes your injury. So you may have a claim that's worth a whole lot more than what that liability coverage is, and that may be all that you're able to get. So that's another thing that has to be taken into consideration. The best thing to do is that if you have been injured in a boating accident or in some water recreation activity accident, and you believe you have a claim and you want to see if you have a claim, give me a call and come talk to me. We're here to help.